Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be previewing the 2026 FIFA World Cup round of 16 matchups. We've had some great games so far, especially in the round of 32, and now I'm going to give you my predictions for who's going to come through and make it to the last 8. I'm going to start with today's game with Morocco and Canada. That's 1 p.m. my time, Eastern time. Canada, they narrowly defeated South Africa, scoring a late goal to win 1-0 in their round of 32 matchup. I thought they were the better team, and with the help of Estacio, their captain, they were able to come through with the victory towards the end. Morocco, they have the opposite fate of most of the African teams in the round of 32. Most teams took the lead when it came to like Ivory Coast, Senegal, DR Congo, and ended up losing late after conceding after the 85th minute. Morocco trailed against the Netherlands 1-0 late into the game until Issa Diop scored in stoppage time to take it into extra time. I thought Morocco were the better team between them and Netherlands, and the Netherlands were hanging on, especially in extra time. And then we saw Morocco defeat them in penalty kicks. So my prediction for the Netherlands and Morocco is that, the Morocco and Canada is that Morocco will defeat Canada 2-1. I see them defeating Canada in regulation time, and it won't have to go to penalties or extra time. And I think this is a game where Brahim Diaz really wakes up on the right wing, because he's been struggling since that AFCON final. He had an incredible AFCON. You know, the whole controversy with his penalty kick that he missed. But he just hasn't been himself besides his assist to Sabari in the match versus Brazil, which was a great assist. And then I think Sabari is going to have a good game against Canada, but it might come down to the midfield, where I believe that Morocco have a stronger midfield. Canada's midfield isn't weak, but with the likes of Bouadi, let me get the names right, so I don't want to mispronounce them. Nui, Bouadi, and Unahi. Yeah, I think they control the midfield and win that match 2-1. The next match is tonight, 5 Eastern. Paraguay play France and Philly. Today's 4th of July, so on the 250th anniversary of the USA, France will be playing Paraguay. I think this one should be more straightforward. Paraguay fight hard. They defeated Germany on penalties when no one gave them a chance, so I can't disrespect Paraguay. I believe that France will beat them 2-0 though. Michael Olise will unlock their defense, and I think Mbappe scores at least one. And then the likes of Dembele and whoever plays on the left wing for France tonight. It could be Barcola, who's scored a couple in this tournament, or Desiree Doué, because sometimes Barcola plays better off the bench, depending on who you ask. But I think this one's more straightforward. I got France defeating Paraguay 2-0. And then we move on to tomorrow's matchups. We have Brazil versus Norway. That should be interesting, 4 p.m. Eastern. Let's see where the match is at. That's in East Rutherford, so New Jersey. And then we have Premier League players like Gabriel, who plays for Arsenal, and Haaland, who plays for Man City, going up against each other. Haaland's been unstoppable in this tournament. He didn't play against France, which would have been a nice test because the rest of their players, but he completely destroyed Senegal's defense in his second game. He played well against Iraq, scored a couple there. And then in the round of 32 against Ivory Coast, he didn't touch the ball much, but we know that's Haaland. He's just waiting for the right moment, the right time. His timing of runs is impeccable. It's probably the best I've seen in terms of offside awareness. And he ended up scoring the winning goal to defeat Ivory Coast 2-1. Antonio Nusa scored a really nice curler from inside the box to make it 1-0. Amad Diallo equalized, and then Haaland got the winner late. So they brushed aside Ivory Coast in the round of 32, but Brazil will be a tough test. On the Brazil side, they have really struggled every time they meet a decent European team or a good European team since they won the World Cup in 2002. Brazil beat Turkey in the semifinals in 2002. Turkey are the UEFA team. And then they defeated Germany in the final. Since then, 2006, round of 16, they beat Ghana. Then they ended up losing in the quarterfinals in that legendary match against France and Zidane. 2010, Brazil, they make it to the knockout stages again. This time they lose to the Netherlands with Wesley Sneijder. 2014, the infamous 7-1. Germany came up on top, winning 7-1 in the semifinals. That really broke a lot of Brazilian hearts. Some say their team haven't recovered since. It's been a tough stretch. And then 2018, they met Belgium in the quarterfinals, and De Bruyne, Lukaku, and Hazard defeated Brazil 2-1 on the day. That was a really great matchup. And Brazil were a favorite going into that tournament. They had a great run in qualifying prior to 2018. Brazil always favored going into major tournaments, so that was nothing new. And then 2022, they lost to Croatia after Neymar scored an incredible goal. Croatia came back and knocked them out, and after scoring late in extra time to equalize. And then I believe they won in penalty kicks against Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. So they lost to Croatia, Belgium, the Netherlands, and France since they last won the World Cup. So I want to say Brazil are the favorites. And Vinicius should have another great game on the wing. Netherlands have Peterson at the right back, and he's protected by players like Berg and Ayer, so we'll see how he fares against Vinny. But I see this as a close game. I think Brazil outplayed Norway, but Norway will keep it close. I'll say 2-2, and Brazil went on penalties to advance to the next round of the World Cup, the quarterfinals. And then at 8 p.m. tomorrow in Mexico City, we have England versus Mexico. So this is Mexico's last game that they'll be hosting, and this should be very interesting, playing at altitude. This is the match where I'm calling the major upset of the round of 16, if you believe Mexico are underdogs in this matchup. If you look at their lineups where the players play, England, they have players playing in the Premier League, playing for Real Madrid like Bellingham, Kane, Bayern's top scorer this season, breaking all kinds of records. So on paper, you'd say England are the more talented squad. When you factor in Mexico rarely ever lose at the Azteca, it's going to be a tough matchup for England. And did a little research, watched some of Sky Sports coverage on altitude, and they say you have to either come in a week early to prepare or come in like the night before, so when your body hasn't had time to overreact to the altitude. So I think England are coming in 2 or 3 days prior. They'll sleep in Mexico City 2 days. And they actually booked 15 different hotels because as fans of the United States and CONCACAF, the CONCACAF region, we know the shithousery that goes on and how at times they like to disrupt the sleep patterns of the away team. So fireworks, flares, going off at night. England are trying to get ahead of it by booking 15 hotels, so you can't find out which one they're at. I have Mexico winning 2-1 after extra time. And then goes to extra time, and Mexico just overwhelmed them. They swarmed Ecuador in the last match, and Quinones and Jimenez were clinical when they got their opportunities. Mora in midfield was looking good. And Mexico, as long as they shut down England's wingers who have been inconsistent, sometimes it's Gordon and Madueke, sometimes it's Rashford and Saka. I think it'll be Rashford and Saka in this game if Saka's fit enough to play, because he's their best right winger. England will have to play with pace, but like I said, with the altitude, that will drain them a little bit. They'll have the pace, but the energy levels might not be as high. And if Mexico swarm them, score in the first 15 minutes, I'll say Mexico should try to score before the first hydration break, because that's when England are looking to just calm themselves down, get to that break, and listen to Tuchel's tactics. But I think England will play well, Mexico will play well, but Mexico will upset them 2-1. And I think Quinones scores at least 1 for Mexico, and Kane will score 1 for England. And then Monday's matchups, we have Portugal versus Spain in the Iberian Peninsula Derby. That is a huge game. This could be Cristiano Ronaldo's last World Cup match. He's facing off against Lamine Yamal, who coming into the tournament, people have him as a top 3 player. I still think he's the most talented player, and that's not like out of the veteran players. We still have Messi playing, of course. We still have Ronaldo, but I think Yamal is extremely talented, and don't let this slow start skew your perception of him, because I know the players that are being compared to him now weren't just a few months ago before his injury. And if you wake up Yamal in this game, it might be over for Portugal. The midfield battle is where everyone is looking to. Bruno, John Neves, and Vitinha going against the midfield of Spain, which of course has Pedri, Rodri, and then Olmo in front of them. Oyarzabal, his name's hard to pronounce. Mickey Oyarzabal, he's done a great job in his role up top. Always been an underrated player and always raises his game for Spain. So his link up with Yamal is important. He didn't touch the ball much in the first match against Cape Verde, but since then he's been incredible. And then on the left, usually it's been Nico Williams since the last Euros, but he's had some injury struggles, and they might go with Baena and on the left side. And Cucurella at left back has been bombing up and down that left wing. So this is a tough one to call. I'm going to lean towards Spain. Rafael Leao came in for Portugal, had an assist for Ramos' goal after he subbed on for Cristiano Ronaldo, who scored his first knockout round goal in the round 32. Some say it's just a penalty. Some say the knockout rounds don't really start till the round of 16, but you got to give it to him. As much as people like to troll him, he's one of the greatest players of all time. So you got to give credit where credit is due. And these are the type of matchups where he loves to show up on. And the key battle is Nuno Mendes, or Nuno Mendes, as they say in Portuguese, versus Lamine Yamal. Mendes pretty much pocketed Yamal in the UEFA Nations League matchup last year, and Portugal got the better of Spain. But I think Yamal will learn from that matchup and similar matchups, and Spain, I think, will win in a thriller 3-2. And I have this one also going to extra time, but I think it won't put a penalty. Spain win 3-2 after extra time, after 120. And then we have USA versus Belgium in Seattle. This should be a great game. USA are looking to avenge the 2014 loss against Belgium, where we lost 2-1 after extra time. And now we have a much better team than we did then. That was the start of Belgium's golden generation with De Bruyne, Lukaku still playing, but they're pretty much past their best. Still good players. No more Hazard. Belgium's back line is nowhere as good as it used to be with the days of Vertonghen and Alderweireld. But now they still have Courtois on goal, and they're playing a midfield pivot of Tielemans and Raskin. Tielemans was very good against Senegal. He helped lead the comeback along with Lukaku. They were down 2-0 in the 86th minute, and then ended up coming back to win the match. That was an impressive victory. Granted, Senegal collapsed, but that's still an impressive victory. And Tielemans scored the game-winning penalty. USA will be without Folarin Balogun in this match, so Ricardo Pepi might be the direct replacement. He's most likely to come in. Haji Wright is an outside chance of playing, but he hasn't played much in the tournament, so it might not be right for Pochettino to bring him in cold after not playing much so far. Keys for USA, I say wing play and play of our wing backs like Serginho Dest and Anthony Robinson. But as far as my prediction for this game, I think the USA will triumph 2-1 in 90 minutes. I think Pulisic will have a huge game in this one, and I think USA will triumph. Tuesday, Argentina play Egypt. I'm gonna run through these last two matches quick because this video has gone on long. I say Egypt should be proud that they're in this position, and Mo Salah's not gonna go down easily. I think they'll put up a fight, but Argentina will win 3-1. And then I have Colombia beating Switzerland, who have our tough team, but don't always get past the round of 16. So I think Colombia with Luis Diaz and the company, like John Arias, the rest of their squad, James might be hurt, but Colombia, I think, some of the team is better than their parts, even though they have good parts. They play as a team, they press together, they just need to score more goals, and I have them defeating Switzerland on the day, 2-1. So those are my predictions. If you're on YouTube, please like on TikTok, and I will see y'all later.